everyone, I'm Jemima Lou. I'm here at the FASHTAG studios. I'm going to be recreating my everyday look for you and giving you my top tips and techniques to create something that's my kind of essential everyday look. So it's a really easy look. It's good if you're going to work, college, school, anything like that. It's nice and fresh, it's not too heavy, but it just kind of defines the features and gives you that look that you kind of feel awake and ready for the day. So I'm going to start with my YSL Touche Cat foundation. I love this foundation because it gives you a nice kind of medium coverage but makes the skin look nice and kind of healthy looking. I use colour B50. I'm going to buff that in with a MAC 130 Duo Fibre brush. I love these brushes because they don't apply kind of too much product. You can really work it into the skin. I generally start from the centre of my face, working out because I kind of want more coverage towards the centre, and then you can just buff it out to the edges. I normally take that over my eyelids because I get quite red eyelids, so it just kind of evens out the skin tone a little bit. Ready for your eyeshadow. The good thing about these brushes is you can kind of stipple the product onto the face as well, because you can get a bit more coverage. I tend to do that over my cheeks because I hold a little bit more high colour there. And you can just kind of build up that product slowly, but kind of it doesn't look heavy at all. The next product I'm going to use is a highlighter by MAC. It's called Prep and Prime Light Boost. It's a slightly yellowy undertoned highlighter, so it's good to kind of take out any dark circles, and it can give a nice natural highlight. I use this a lot when I'm doing kind of shoots or bridal makeup for a kind of natural highlight, instead of using something that can kind of flash back or be too harsh. So use a couple of clicks and take it all the way around my eye. And I'm not too shy with this product because you can buff it in really well. So it kind of gives that Kim Kardashian kind of highlight to the skin. And I'm just buffing that in with this same foundation brush. Now for concealer, I'm going to use my favourite concealer of the moment, which is the Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage. I use this in number 4. I love the fact that you've got 2 colours to mix because I like to tailor the colour to either myself or to a client. It's a little bit of a drier product, so I use a slightly firmer brush. This is the MAC 252 because it will just work it into the skin a little bit more. So I kind of mix the two to kind of get the desired colour. And I'm taking that under my eyes and over any kind of redness or blemishes on the skin. And then if I need to, just go back with my foundation brush and just blend any edges away. And then to set in the look, I am going to go with my MAC, this is Studio Care Blend powder. It's not too heavy, it doesn't change the texture of the foundation that I've just used. Because I'm slightly drier, it's good because it doesn't make me look like I've got a lot of powder on. I'm just using a MAC 168 brush to kind of pop that onto the skin. I generally like to push it in, because if you drag it over what you've just done, you're potentially going to take a little bit of product off. And now to start the eyes, I like to use an eyeshadow base because my eyelids are quite oily. Something like the Urban Decay Primer Potion is perfect for that. This one is completely colourless, so you can use it for any look that you're going to go for. I just put a little bit on my finger and then take it all over the lid up to the brow. It's nice because it kind of evens out the skin tone on your eyelid as well, so the redness that I was talking about earlier kind of gets taken away a little bit more. And I've got a Smashbox eyeshadow palette here. It's a Softbox palette. It's got some great kind of neutral tones in there, some matte, some with a bit of a shimmer. I am going to start with this colour here, and then I'm going to kind of mix in a bit of these two. So I'm starting off with the lighter gold colour on a MAC 239 brush. This is going to go all over the lid. I want to use a firmer brush because you kind of want to push the product into the lid, so you get a little bit more colour payoff, and that's just going up to the socket line. And then I'm just blending any harsh edges away with the MAC 217. This brush is kind of perfect because it sits in the crease really well. So I'm just taking the mid-brown colour on the same brush. This is going on the outer corner and in the socket of the eye to give some definition, but it's not going to be kind of too heavy, so it's good for day wear. I'm just going to blend that with my MAC 217 brush. And I like to wing my eyeshadow out slightly just to accentuate the shape of my eye. And taking a small amount of the same brown just underneath the bottom lashes to give a little bit more kind of definition. And now I'm going to move on to an angled brush. This is a MAC 266. This is great for liner or brows. I'm using it with the darkest brown, and I'm going to use that to kind of act like my liner. It is a matte eyeshadow, so it's perfect for that. I like to use an eyeshadow, matte eyeshadow as my liner for a day look because it's a lot softer than a pencil or liquid. And being brown as well, because I'm blonde, it's going to be a little bit softer. If you are dark haired, obviously you can go for a black if you want to, but because this is more of my day look, I prefer to keep it a little bit softer. And just flick it out slightly at the edge. With this angled brush, you've kind of got that shape already, so you can literally kind of just place the brush on the eye and create that shape. Again, just taking a little bit of that underneath the eye, really close to the root of the lash. Once I've done the eyeshadow, I like to take my foundation brush with the leftover product just to clean up anything that's fallen down on the under eye. And now I'm going to curl my lashes. These are my MAC lash curlers. I like to curl my lashes because my lashes aren't that curly. They're quite long, but they need a bit of help to kind of open up the eye a little bit more. So if you get them as close to the lash line as possible, give them a good squeeze. I like to kind of move up the lashes as I'm going, so it kind of gives a nice curl and really opens those eyes up. Now my mascara that I've been loving at the moment is the MAC Extra Dimension Lash Mascara. You've got a comb wand on this, so it's great because it really separates the lashes. It has got fibres in it, so it does lengthen the lashes as well. It should be fine for contact lens wearers. However, just be careful when you're using it, just in case you get kind of a little bit of irritation, but it should be absolutely fine. And I find that it's quite good to layer up as well. I generally like to put a few layers of this mascara on. And then I'm just going to run that on my bottom lashes as well. And the end of the wand is quite good because it still has that comb on the end, so you can really get to your bottom lashes easily. With mascaras, you shouldn't really keep them more than 3 months, I would say. Obviously, you can kind of judge it on how dry or kind of airy your mascara can be, because you don't want to pump the wand, you don't want to get too much air into it, because then it will start to dry it up a lot more. So just be careful with your mascara, and for any makeup artists out there, you want to make sure you use disposable ones for clients and things like that, obviously, so there's no kind of cross-contamination. You just need to be a little bit careful with your mascaras. Now for my brows, I like to use, this is just a mascara wand. I just groom them into the position that I want them to, because mine can be a little bit unruly at times. So I'm just brushing them up and across. And then with my all-time favourite brow pencil, it's the MAC Fling Brow Pencil. The good thing about this one is it's nice and fine, so you can almost draw like hairs. It's slightly waxy, so it tends to hold the brows in place quite well. And for blondes, this is the perfect colour because it hasn't got too much of an orangey undertone, so it doesn't go kind of goldeny, it kind of stays nice and blonde. And I generally go to the shape of my brows, but extend them slightly because they're slightly shorter. They need a little bit of filling in places. Now I normally take a little bit of brow gel through just the outer edge of my brow. That's where my longest brows are and they tend to fall down a little bit. This is the Bobbi Brown Natural Brow Shaper in Blonde. Again, a really good blonde shade, so not too orangey undertoned. I kind of take a lot of the product off a lot of the time because it's not the colour I'm wanting, it's the hold. And I literally just brush it through the outer edge of my brows just to hold those in place. Then if you want to take off any excess product, you can just use your clean mascara wand again, just to groom that through. So don't worry if you apply too much product, it can easily be taken off. Now back in with my concealer, because my brows are very light, I just like to define them a little bit more. I take the lighter colour of my concealer, the same brush, and I just take a little bit of that underneath the brow to give a little bit more definition. Don't worry if your brows don't look exactly the same. No one's brows will ever be exactly the same. They will look slightly differently, and it's quite nice because no one's face is symmetrical anyway, so it's quite nice to go with the shape of your brow a lot of the time. Now for bronzer, I'm going to use my Bobbi Brown bronzer. This is in colour medium number 2. The great thing about these bronzers is they're nice and matte, so it's great if you like to contour, and they've got great pigment in them. I'm using the same brush, it's the MAC 168 as I did for my powder. and I take some onto the high points of the face to kind of give me that natural sun-kissed glow. So if you take it all over the face, sometimes it can be a little bit flat. If you use it on the higher points, it can give you a natural glow, and it will give you more dimension. I always take a little bit underneath my cheekbone to define and give me a little bit of a contour. Onto my temples. A tiny bit across my forehead and onto my nose, onto my chin. And for those of you that like to kind of contour the jawline as well, I'm going to take them underneath. You don't need too much because it's just literally that natural shadow that you want to create. And if you need to kind of blend it down, you can always take it onto the neck and chest if you need to. Now, the blusher I'm going to use is my all-time favourite blusher. It's Warm Soul by MAC. It's a mineral blusher, so it does have a little bit of a sheen in, but for me it's kind of the perfect mix of the bronzy, pinky and corally undertones. Again on the same brush. I like to aim it towards the back of my cheekbone. A lot of people used to say smile. If you can imagine smiling and then when your face drops, the blusher tends to be quite near to your nose, which is not really where you want it to be. So I aim for the back of the cheekbone, and really kind of, it's better to add less product. So start with a small amount and you can always build it up, but kind of buff it in really well so you don't want to see where any product starts or begins. That colour gives a nice natural kind of glow to the cheek, but it's good because you can wear it with literally any eyeshadow and it doesn't clash. For my everyday lip colour, I've really been loving this at the moment. It's by Smashbox and it's the Limitless Longwear Lip Gloss, and the colour is For Keeps. It's a great kind of everyday natural pinky undertone lip gloss, and it does last quite well. It is a slightly stickier texture, but that's because it has to kind of stick to the lip and last. You've got a great shape on your wand. And because I like to try and make more of my eyes, I generally play down my lips a little bit more. Another great thing about this lip gloss is the smell and the taste. It smells really good and tastes really good, which is obviously not what it's for, but it always helps if your lip gloss smells nice. So thank you for watching. This is my top tips and recommendations for an everyday look. Nice and easy, just kind of defining your features. Give me a little comment in the comments box below and let me know what you think of the look and all the products that I've used. And please subscribe to FASHTAG for more videos from me.